Okay, guys, we're going to look at creating a kind of mock-up of a phone UI, which is a user interface, is what that stands for. So animation plays a big part in this, and a lot of engineers and designers design animations that play a part in the user interface for a lot of things, not just phones. So what we're looking at here, I'm just going to kind of go over the user interface that I've created. It's very simple. And this is kind of what I'm looking for. So if you look, I have four icons at the bottom. And if you roll over them, they change colors to kind of let you know, hey, you're on me. And if I click, let's start with the phone. The phone, it kind of brings up this different background here with the phone numbers. And these don't work because it's just a basic mock-up, nothing special right now. The home button, I click, that goes back to my main screen. The music button, if I click that, it opens my music player. And now this actually works. And you should be able to hear the music. If not, it's playing music right now. And so if I stop that, it'll stop. And you notice the buttons light up when I hit them. And then last but not least, my message, I can type in a message here. So, and that doesn't do anything right now, so I'm still kind of playing with that. But and then if I hit home, that all goes away. So just for a second, let's look at some of the code that goes into doing this. First off, let's look at our my phone sprite. Here's my sprite. I've got two different costumes. That way, when it rolls over, it switches. But if we look at the code, it's real simple. When we start, which is the green flag, if the mouse rolls over it, so if it's touching the mouse pointer, then it's going to switch to costume 2. Else, it's going to switch back to costume 1. If you don't have if else, then it won't switch back when you move your mouse off of it. So when it's touching the mouse pointer, it switches to costume 2. Otherwise, it's going to switch back to 1. Also, when the sprite is clicked, it switches to my second background, which I have 3 different backgrounds set up, one for phone and one for music player. So that is how that is controlled. So my home icon, pretty much the same, set up the same way. Same thing for my music. It switches to the different backdrop that I have set up for the music. And I have a couple of controls for the music, speaking of. So let's go to the music player. And so let's look at the controls on the music controls. When the sprite is clicked, so that's different than the green flag. When the sprite is clicked, it will switch to costume, which this has 2 costumes of green. It turns green, so you know it's playing, and it plays the song. I've uploaded an MP3, and so you don't get to choose. Like I said, it's pretty basic. Then it waits a second, and then it switches the costume back. So it just switches the costume just for a second. Also, when the backdrop switches to another item, so if I hit home or if I'm in my music player and I go to the phone, I need this to disappear. I don't want my icon to stay there. So when the backdrop switches, I have to add this code in there to hide. And then I want to, when it switches to 3, which is my music background, I want it to show. So I have to add those pieces of code in there. Same thing for my stop. Everything's pretty similar, except this is stop all sounds. So you can kind of see how this is laid out, and the way it's driven. For my background, I do have some code in there. So when the green flag is clicked, it switches back to the main background. So in your assignment, what I want you to do is I want you to create a mock-up of a phone UI. I want you to have at least 3 icons. So you don't have to have 4, but you have to have at least 3. One has to be your home that gets you back to your home screen. The other 2 need to be working icons. So if it's a music icon, you have, like I have, you need to have a music player that actually plays. If it's a phone, you need to have something with the phone, and the buttons need to work. Mine don't work, but you're going to have to take more time to do that. You can make a message one. You can make a internet. You can make something. Not everything is going to be feasible for what we can do in Scratch, but that's your choice. You can play with it, but you've seen some of the code. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Some of your time is going to be spent creating these icons, creating the backdrops, or putting those things in. And so you'll have to spend some time creating those. But 3 Three, I'm looking for three icons. They all have to be clickable. They all have to, when you roll over them, they have to change color or something needs to change to signal that something's happening when you roll over them. And when you click them, they have to do something. And then when they go to something like this, like for instance, a music player, it has to do something, it has to work. So if it's a music player, it has to play music. It doesn't have to be a particular song. You can upload MP3s to this. So if you have one that you like, you can put it on there. It can play a sound, whatever you want to do. Be creative with it. So anyway, that is your assignment. If you have questions, let me know.